Coming up on today's edition of the Rockbridge Report, just a few states away in Tennessee and Alabama, devastating wildfires and tornadoes have destroyed homes and taken lives. We'll show you how those states are faring in the aftermath of extreme weather.
Lexington residents, be sure to get outside today because the rain has finally cleared, although temperatures are soon to drop and we may even get some snow next week. More on the weather coming to you soon.
And don't miss our look into big changes coming to the Chessie Trail and the big fight over the leadership of House Mountain.
And later, our own Parker Butler reveals possible plans for even more renovations at the newly opened Waddell Elementary. All that and more up next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Samuel Mao.
And I'm Polly Noskova. The first candidate-driven presidential recount in more than 15 years began today in Wisconsin, a state that Donald Trump won by less than 1 percentage point over Hillary Clinton. Last week, former Green Party candidate Jill Stein requested a recount in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. She suggested irregular voting patterns in these 3 states indicate the vote could have been tampered with. Wisconsin County election officials are expected to re-tab nearly 3 million ballots. Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump took a victory lap today, stopping first in Indiana, where he saluted workers at a factory he made a campaign promise to save. The heating and air conditioning company, Carrier, said in February it would shut down the Indianapolis plant and ship jobs to Mexico. But Trump said this week that Carrier has agreed to keep some 800 union jobs at the plant. Trump will make a stop in Ohio next to kick off his thank you tour to honor the supporters that swept him into his stunning victory.
Residents all across the southeast woke up to severe damage this morning. At least 5 people are dead after deadly tornadoes swept through parts of Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. Reporter Yasmin Amir tells us more.
Devastating scenes across the southeast after a round of deadly storms. At least 3 tornadoes ripped through northern Alabama. According to the National Weather Service, Jackson County saw some of the worst damage. Strong winds knocked down trees and power lines and turned some buildings into ruins. One resident says a large tree collapsed on his house. But given the sheer destruction around him, he says it could have been a lot worse.
I'm one of the lucky ones. I still got a roof over my head.
In Georgia, 3 suspected tornadoes touched down in the metro Atlanta area. No one was injured, but residents describe a terrifying afternoon.
It was so much wind, everything was just flying everywhere. It was bad.
Really dark up there, right here in front of us.
It was like the wind was just dark. Like...
Everything was just flying
and the
everywhere.
whole door just shook.
2 people were killed in Tennessee, where weather officials say a tornado touched down in Polk County. That state is already reeling from deadly wildfires that have killed 7 people so far. Wednesday's rain provided some relief, but it's not nearly enough to quell the region's worst drought in nearly a decade. I'm Yasmin Amir reporting.
Around 14,000 residents and tourists were evacuated from Gatlinburg, Tennessee this week because of the raging wildfire. The city has been closed since Monday night. But Gatlinburg Mayor Mike Werner said he hopes to reopen the resort city as early as Friday, after nearly 24 hours of drenching rain helped quench the devastating fires. Rockbridge County has seen a great deal of rain this week too. In our next segment, Bryn McCarthy tells us what to expect for the upcoming weekend.
A veteran police officer was shot and killed in Tacoma, Washington late last night while responding to a domestic violence call. The officer was taken to a hospital for surgery where he later died, but he has not been publicly identified yet. Authorities shot and killed the suspected gunman after an hours-long standoff early this morning. The suspect was using 2 children inside the home as a shield, but a Pierce County Sheriff's deputy was able to get a safe shot at the suspect without harming the children. Police say they found multiple weapons inside the suspect's home. A pay increase for deputies at the Rockbridge County Sheriff's Office takes effect today. However, the Virginia Sheriff's Association is concerned that pay for law enforcement officers remains uncompetitive across the state. The organization has asked legislators to address the issue when the General Assembly convenes next month in Richmond. Deputies in Virginia currently have a starting salary of just over $31,000, but some counties, including Rockbridge, can afford to supplement that pay with additional funding. Cool Springs Organic Market will be closing by the end of December after 15 years in Lexington.
Owner Selena Anderson posted on Facebook in November that she feels it is time to move on from the store. For its last few weeks, customers can enjoy 10% off all purchases at Cool Springs. There are no confirmed plans for what will be filling the store's space.
The Virginia Horse Center is celebrating its 30th anniversary in Rockbridge County this year. Reporter Ellen Kanziger shows us how the directors hope that planned renovations will attract more events and visitors to the area.
The Virginia Horse Center looks to return to its former glory after years of mounting debt and declining facilities. The 600 acres hold a variety of arenas and trails for various competitions. The center typically hosts around 100 events a year and attracts thousands of visitors. Around half of those visitors are from outside of Virginia.
At the end of the day, the Horse Center brings a lot of people into the community who spend their money here, which I think is important for all of us. So I think our continued viability is important for the continued economic development of Rockbridge County and vice versa.
A new management team took over in 2014 and immediately began working on ways to make the facilities more attractive to the equestrian community. This included taking out several loans to update the facilities after the state pulled its funding.
State funding supported the debt service that was associated with actually creating the Horse Center, the facilities, the land, and so forth. And there was a decision made somewhere around 2007 where that funding was pulled back.
The Horse Center's loan through the New River Bank is due a little over a year from now. The center plans to refinance that loan through the United States Department of Agriculture. The USDA program would pay off the $769,380 loan to New River Bank and begin paying for operation costs. Both Lexington and Rockbridge County also approved a 5-year extension on the 1% lodging tax. This revenue will continue to go towards capital maintenance projects and facility upkeep. Part of the proposed plan includes setting aside land to be used for community athletic fields.
High school has a real need when it comes to spring season with your JV, varsity soccer, boys and girls, your lacrosse. They don't have enough field space to even practice.
Although directors are pleased with show bookings so far, they look forward to competing with other horse centers around the country as a premier equestrian facility. From the Virginia Horse Center, I'm Ellen Kanziger with the Rockbridge Report.
The Horse Center will have to wait to move forward with the plans until the loan goes through refinancing with the USDA. Until then, the land for the fields is tied up as collateral on the loan.
Lexington's luxury boutique inn, the Georges, joined Historic Hotels of America's collection of hotels and resorts Tuesday. The collection of 295 hotels recognizes distinctive properties across the country for their dedication to preserving history, architecture, and ambiance. The Georges, which includes 2 buildings on either side of North Main Street, opened in 2014 after extensive renovations. The properties are owned by Ann Parker Gottwald of Richmond.
Coming up after the break, we'll show you what VMI is doing to improve the historic Chessie Trail, and a look at how fans and families are celebrating the lives lost in a plane crash in Columbia just 2 days ago.
And later, Waddell Elementary is finally open to students, but parents think there is still more work to be done.